All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to talk about something that is absolutely critical for every single entrepreneur out there. It's a question that really gets to the heart of what you're building, and honestly, the answer could be the difference between creating something amazing and just creating a fast track to burnout. We're going to get super clear on the difference between a job, a hustle, and a real business. So, I want to start by asking you this directly. Really think about it for a second. Are you building a business, or have you just accidentally built yourself a high-stress job? For so many of us, the dream is to own a business, but the day-to-day reality, well, it feels a lot more like the business owns us. And this is the invisible trap, right? You jump out of the 9-to-5 world to finally be your own boss, only to find you've just signed up for a new job. And this one comes with way longer hours, a ton more stress, and a boss who is just impossible to please. Yourself. It's so common, but just seeing it, just recognizing that this is what's happening, is the first and most important step to actually changing it.
Okay, so how do you know? How can you tell if you're caught in this trap? Well, there are some pretty clear warning signs. Let's go through the symptoms and see if any of these start to sound a little too familiar.
This is the big one, the number one red flag. If you taking a day off, or getting sick, or heaven forbid, trying to go on vacation, means that all the money stops coming in, the customers get ignored, and everything just grinds to a halt, you don't have a business. What you have is a treadmill, and it's powered entirely by you running on it, nonstop.
And here's the real kicker, the painful part. You are working harder than you have ever worked in your entire life. We're talking 60, 70, 80-hour weeks. But then you look at your own bank account, and the reward just isn't showing up. You know that feeling? That feeling of being the hardest working and ironically the lowest paid person in your own company? Yeah, that's a classic sign.
And what's so interesting here is how all these points are connected. See, because it's 100% dependent on you, you get trapped in the day-to-day grind. And because you're trapped doing the daily work, you can't step back to build the systems that create real long-term value. That means it can't scale beyond what you can personally do in a day. And the end result of all that? Burnout doesn't just feel like a possibility, it feels completely inevitable. Just be honest with yourself for a second. How many of these are hitting home for you right now?
Okay, so we've diagnosed the problem. Now, let's talk about the solution. And it all starts with one thing, clarity. We have to get really precise about what we're building. So, let's break down these three concepts side by side.
First up, a job that you've created for yourself. So think about a freelance graphic designer. They're super talented, they have happy clients, they're making money, but they are the business. They do the design work, they land the new clients, they send the invoices, they're the whole engine. And the key thing here is that the value is completely tied to their time and their labor. Take them out of the picture and the whole thing just stops.
Okay, next we have the hustle. Now, a hustle is great for one thing, generating cash quickly, but it usually doesn't have much stability. Think about somebody who flips cool vintage furniture they find at flea markets. It's an awesome way to make some extra cash, but the focus is all on the short-term win from each individual sale. It's not really about building a sustainable brand or an operation that has long-term value. There's no real structure there.
And finally, this is the goal, a real business. Let's go back to our graphic designer. What if, instead of just freelancing, they decided to start an agency? They hire a few other designers, they bring on a project manager, maybe even a salesperson. Now, all of a sudden, the company can serve clients, it can grow, and it can make money even when the founder is on a beach somewhere. That is a real business. It's an asset. It's designed to work for you, not the other way around. It can grow beyond your own personal limits, and it has real value that could one day be sold.
And this table just makes it so clear, doesn't it? Just look at these columns. With a job, your dependency is total. Scalability is basically zero. With a hustle, dependency is still really high and scalability is limited. But look at a real business. Dependency is low, scalability is high. And check out that row for value. A job has no value without you. A hustle has very little. But a real business? It's a transferable asset. That right there is the entire game changer.
So, if a real business is the goal, what actually separates it from the other two? What's the secret ingredient? Well, the answer isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. The difference, in one word, is structure. I absolutely love this quote because it's just so true. A job or a hustle, they often just kind of happen, you know? You start doing a thing, it makes a little money, so you just keep doing it. A business, a real business, is different. It's built with intention, it's architected. It's designed from the very beginning to operate like a system.
So what does that design actually look like? Well, it really boils down to these three core systems. First, you've got to design a system for how work actually gets done, a process that anyone in the team can follow. Second, you need a system for how decisions get made, so you're not the bottleneck for every single little choice. And third, you absolutely have to have systems for how money is tracked and managed. These are the three pillars that hold up a business that can actually run without you.
And all of this brings us to the final and maybe the most important piece of this whole puzzle. Building these systems, it's not just about tactics. It requires a massive shift in how you see yourself and your role. It's about making the leap from being an operator to becoming an owner.
And I really can't stress this enough. Getting this difference between a job, a hustle, and a business isn't just some textbook concept. It completely redefines your entire purpose as a founder. Your job is no longer to do the work. Your new job is to build the machine that does the work. And that right there is the single most powerful mindset shift you can possibly make.
So let's end right back where we started, with an honest question. After looking at all this, the definitions, the warning signs, the systems, what have you really built so far? Answering that question isn't about judging yourself. It's about finding your true starting line so you can begin building what you actually want, starting right now. Thanks so much for joining me for this one.